Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
and Ray the Roadie
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. How you doing today, Ray?
I'm doing good, and how are you today?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Just fine.
You know, I was
brushing my hair.
You brushing your hair?
Yeah.
Awesome. I was at the store today, man. I was walking down this aisle, and I look, and man, this one dude, he looked like a lady.
Really?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's kind of weird.
There's a song like that, you know.
I thought there was a song like that.
Yep.
Isn't it Aerosmith?
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, I mean, then there's a bunch of these guys there, man. They're a real motley looking crew, and I wanted to stay away from them. I mean, it's like, oh,
sounds like nothing but a good time to me.
Yeah, it could have been, I suppose.
Okay, you know? Enough of the puds.
Then I went to Starbucks.
And what happened there?
I got some coffee, and when I was mixing it all up with the other stuff, I wound up I poured sugar on me.
Oh, did you?
I did. That was a mess.
Oh, boy, that's terrible.
We ought to talk to somebody that plays this kind of music.
Oh, I thought you meant talk to somebody at Starbucks.
We could talk to somebody at Starbucks, too.
I don't know why.
At every Starbucks. Let's do a podcast from every Starbucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm sure people would be interested in that. Today we're at Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Well, we could just do Chicago ones.
Yeah, that would
Chicago area.
Chicago area would probably take us a year or two. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, today, enough with the puns. That's what I said, because we are talking we talked with Brian Durbin of Hairbangers Ball, the 80s glam metal rock band who, they're really a good band. They're really a good band. And, I've had the chance to see them, and they're very good.
I have seen them a number of times myself. They're really tight. The music sounds great. They definitely look the part.
Yes, they do.
Definitely look the part. And man, they play a lot of shows. I mean, when I'm looking around who's playing where, they just pop up all the time. Now,
his name is Brian Durbin. That's his real name, but maybe we should tell everybody his stage name is actually Mick Yeager.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
and people know your stage name is Paul Tequila.
That's right.
And I'm Ray Crown Royal. Or Bourbon.
Ray Bourbon.
That's right. But yes, they're a unique band. They're an original 80s glam rock band.
Yes, they are. And speaking of originals, I think they've come up with one that we'll be playing here. So let's get to it and see what Brian had to say about the band.
Let's take a listen.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to today's show. Today we're speaking with Brian Durbin, who is with 80s glam metal band Hairbangers Ball. How you doing, Brian?
Hey,
I'm
Brian.
doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Awesome. Doing great.
So
actually, when you guys first reached out to the Hairbangers page, we actually thought you were the original lead singer of Hairbangers Ball because his real name is Paul Martin. Yeah. So we were like, when did Paul start putting on podcasts? And then we found out it wasn't him. So
yeah, I know that. And as a matter of fact, I met him once, and I've actually worked with the band, but it had to be back about in 2006 or so, 2007. I had you guys did a show at Sox Park, and I helped set up the gear, and because the company I work for did sound for you that day.
Oh, right on.
Who was Jim Morris? I don't know if you know Jim Morris and JLM Productions.
I don't. I wasn't at that show. I've only been in the band for the past 5 years, so I was probably somewhere in college at that time.
Yeah, yeah. I figured you might, but maybe some of the other people know him. So tell us a little bit about the band, when the band got started, and then if you have the history, I assume, right?
Yeah. I hope I don't botch this, but here goes nothing. Okay, so Hairbangers Ball has been around for about 20 years. This May 11th will be 20 years of Hairbangers Ball. The band was originally started in Chicago and has played all across the Midwest, the U.S., and they've even done some international stuff long before I was in the band. But it's the original tribute to the 80s, as our graphic designer actually just named us one day. Like, I don't know. We got some proofs back. During the time that I've been in the band, we got some proofs back for some artwork, and it said the original tribute to the 80s. And we're like, that sounds pretty good. We'll stick with that. But yeah, the band's been around for about 20 years, playing covers of the 80s hair metal genre, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Def Leppard, all that great stuff. And
all the good stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, the band was just started to get paid to party. is really all it was, from my understanding. And then, my involvement. I've been in the band for about 5 years now. I sing. I play a little bit of guitar in the band from time to time, and then I've taken on all of our social media and stuff like that too. So I'm like the singer / marketing guy for the band, I guess you would call it.
So how'd you get in the band?
I got in the band by playing in a bunch of other bands and just not going away. And then, I've been playing, in this area probably for about a decade, maybe even a little bit more than a decade at this point in time. I'm 34. I started singing for an original band called Love Blast when I was 20. It's my band that I wrote all the songs for and stuff. Yeah, I started playing in other local cover bands. I was in a band called On Fire. I was in a band called Platinum. And then eventually one day I got a text message from Jennifer saying that they needed a new lead singer, and asked me to come over to audition, and I did, and I got the gig, and now I'm here.
Now, with the band going for 20 years, are there any original members?
There's one original member left. That's Jennifer Remus, aka Polly Pants.
Polly Pants, yeah.
Yeah, we've all got our own quirky little stage names, if you will. Mine in the band is Mick Yeager.
Do you like some Jaeger once in a while? Do you?
I like it too much, actually. I like it too much, but
that's coming from Paul Tequila.
Yeah, well,
right on.
I used to be Paul Jaeger myself, but because I had a fetish for Jaeger bombs, but I had to quit it. So
yeah, I haven't had to quit it yet, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't pace myself a little bit better. You learn how to get in your own rhythm after 5 years in the band of, how to do it. I mean,
that's right.
So Polly Pants or Jennifer is the only original member, and who else is in the band now?
We've got I would say, if we're going, let's go chronologically, shall we? I don't know why this camera is all.
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Is this an audio only?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I won't bother with this.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I thought I was having a stroke or something. I was.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got everything positioned for when the guests get here later. We've actually got like this multi-camera switchboard here. It's pretty cool, but this whole new setup is, all sorts of fine tuning, but in any event,
there you go. It just came back in picture.
All right, cool. The original is Polly Pants, and then Claire Crush has been in and out of the band, I would say, for about 10 to 11 years at this point in time. I guess the next most recent member of the band would be me. I've been in the band for about 5 years. Our bass player, Rod Viper, his real name, John Masak. He's been in the band for just about as long as I have. And then we've got Jack Charlotte, whose real name is Seth Shulman. He's been in the band for a little over a year now. And then we recently got a new guitar player in September named Daryl Diamond, aka Marcus Johansson is his real name, and you can check him out at johanssonshreds.com. He's the only member of the band that has his own website, so that's the only reason he's that's why he got the plug and stuff.
Okay.
He's very smart. He's a very smart man.
Right.
And he shreds.
What's Claire's name?
Claire Crush, but her real name is Claire Andraic.
Oh, okay. All right. I missed that one, but
I don't know if these people want me saying their real names or whatever, but you guys know mine, so I busted all of them. Whoops.
Yeah. That's right. We'll still call them by their stage names. Yeah. So now you said you wrote some original material, right? Or you played in an original band. Did you write material or do you still write material?
I still write material all the time. I try to write a song a week. If I can, I love, playing covers in Hairbangers Ball. I'm really lucky to be playing my favorite style of music for a living. I mean, what more can you ask for? But if I was being perfectly honest, my number one joy in life is writing and recording my own music. Whether or not anybody else hears it, that's my favorite thing to do with my time.
So what in genre, what vein is the direction of your music go?
It sounds a whole lot like Hairbangers Ball.
Does it?
That list. It's just like there's not an ounce of me that's phony when it comes to this type of music. This is the music that I'm all about. Like I'm not secretly like a closet like U2 fan on the side or anything, or like I'm not, not that there's anything wrong with U2 or I'm just saying my music is 80s hair metal music, and so when I'm on stage with Hairbangers Ball, it's not an act, it's not a gig, that's what I'm all about, is this type of music. And the music that I write is pretty close in style to what Hairbangers Ball plays in our set list, which is why Hairbangers Ball is releasing an original song on March 12th, available on streaming platforms everywhere.
Awesome.
Oh, very cool.
That's the first one?
The very first one. Yeah, we figured that, after 20 years of being a band, after 20 years of being a band, maybe we should try or something like, maybe we should try to write a song or something. I don't know.
So what's the name of it?
The name of the song is All Aboard the Bang Train.
On the man and my vices on the brain. This is the place in town that we run around and we like to go insane. The legacy's notorious and the bluebird is its name. Got a thirst for demolition. Running wild with the sweetest sound. 6 strings full of ammunition. When this circus comes to town.
Yeah, it's something that everyone has called. Everybody kind of in the circle of Hairbangers Ball has always kind of called the band over the years for whatever reason. It's just been called the Bang Train. And so, yeah, that was the inspiration for the song. And so, yeah, the song's called All Aboard the Bang Train. And it's about being in Hairbangers Ball and Hairbangers Ball fans. And
so this would be the first time anybody's heard it, because with the COVID and stuff, you guys probably weren't playing much last year.
Yeah, we really didn't play a whole lot, not as much as we normally play. I mean, normally the band is playing 150 shows a year, just all over the Midwest. We definitely played more than most bands did. Yeah, the areas that we were playing in weren't heavily hit hard, or, I don't know. I'm pulling that out of my ass. So, but from what I understand, the areas we were playing were allowed to have shows, and, it's kind of weird because they're all like limited capacity shows, 20% seated at tables wearing masks and stuff. And, it's not ideal for a rock concert, but what the nice thing is, with the type of music that we play, people will actually show up just to watch you play music. Whereas, like, let's say it's like a disco band or whatever. If people can't dance, nobody's coming to the show. Like,
right.
sorry. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Disco is pretty incredible music, actually, if you actually really pay attention to it. But in any event, yeah, this type of music, thankfully, the type of people that listen to it like watching a band play music, which is pretty rare that I've found in terms of like the cover party scene. So we're really lucky in that with these types of shows, we've still been able to get out there and play because people want to watch us play.
Well, now speaking of people that watch you play, they're called Bang Masters. Is that right?
Bang Masters. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, how'd that name come about?
I don't know. It came about long before I was in the band. I mean, sometimes we call the fans bangers. Sometimes we call them Bangomaniacs, but Bang Masters is the one that sticks the most. And
I noticed you've got some swag to go with that too. I know.
Oh yeah,
it's got a lot of different swag.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, one of our favorite bands is Kiss, so I mean, we've taken notes to the whole merchandising thing. That's for sure.
And masks too, right? And
yeah, we've actually got two different types of masks. We've got one mask. Actually, I might even have it in my pocket right now. I don't. Yeah, we've got one mask with our logo on it, and then we've got another mask that has a very handsome gentleman's face on it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. And you mentioned carrying it in your pocket. I mean, that's something different than what we had to do a year ago at this time, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, we are just about at the year mark.
Right.
I remember we finished our last full capacity show at the Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana on March 14th. And actually the Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana is actually the venue that our song All Aboard the Bang Train is all about. We kind of call that like our home away from home, because even though, you know, we're a Chicago band, we're in Bloomington, Indiana, every, you know, in normal times, 4 to 6 weeks. Lately, I feel like it's been one of the only places we've been playing. We've been there like every 3 weeks lately. So, but yeah, no, we're really lucky to be playing. It's a really great,
college town. Right.
Oh yeah, it's a great college town. It's a really historic venue. Not everybody's played there, but I mean, everybody from, you know, Bass Nectar to Kings of Leon, and, you know, John Mellencamp has played there before. John Mayer has played there, and Hairbangers Ball plays there all the time.
That's cool.
I would love to have the bank account of the rest of those people one of these days, but you know, we're doing okay.
So now you said you're 34 years old, so you must have just been born when this music was happening. How did you learn to for the appreciation for this type of music?
Yeah, I was born in 1986, so near the latter half of the decade of decadence. So I got into this music in a really weird way. I got into this music because of the movie Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay. It came out in 1993, and there's a montage scene in that movie where Mrs. Doubtfire is like kind of just rocking out with a broom, rocking out with a vacuum cleaner, and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And I just thought it was hilarious when I was a kid. And the song in the background is "Dude Looks Like a Lady" by Aerosmith. Okay. And I was about 7 years old when I saw that movie.
Appropriate for Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. And that was the moment for me where like my ears woke up for the first time. I'm like, what is that? You know, because I liked album covers. Like my dad had a tape of Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, and he had a tape of AC/DC Highway to Hell that I just thought were cool album covers when I was a kid, but my ears weren't awake yet, you know, or anything. So when that scene in Mrs. Doubtfire came on, even though Mrs. Doubtfire is doing all this, you know, crazy stuff, the thing that really drew me in was that Aerosmith song. I had never heard anything like that before in my life. I had never heard that, you know, loud guitars, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, just really tight harmony vocals, you know, it was really cool. And then obviously like the guitar solo being one of the featured things of the song, like really drew me in.
You guys doing the Aerosmith?
We do some Aerosmith. Yeah, we do. Dude Looks Like a Lady. It's been a while since we've done that one. And that one's really fun too, because my cousin will come up on stage with us from time to time whenever we do it, and he's available. And he dresses up in a Mrs. Doubtfire outfit and pops right in at the guitar solo and stuff. And he usually gets a really cool crowd response whenever we get to do it. And since this is airing after the music video is released, he's actually in the music video dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire, because we based the video off of we were watching a bunch of old videos from these bands, and our favorites were Nothing But a Good Time by Poison and Love in an Elevator by Aerosmith and Lick It Up by Kiss. Those were like the 3 videos where we were like, all right, let's make just this crazy, wacky, over the top 80s style video. And there's all sorts of weird cutaways in the Love in an Elevator music video. Like there's a midget dancing with a professional basketball player. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And so we decided to kind of tribute that in our video with Mrs. Doubtfire. And, since we ripped off Love in an Elevator enough in the video, we figured we might as well go all the way.
So there's a live video or a live shoot.
So I wish it was a live shoot. And that was the original intention when I first started writing the song, was we wanted to shoot our very first music video at the Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana, in front of a crowd, because, the Bluebird is a really unique crowd in that they're just rabid. They're crazier than any crowd that we play. I mean, it's not the biggest crowd that we play for, right, but there's an intensity in that town that is really unique to it and really special. And, you never know what you're going to get at a Hairbangers Ball show in Bloomington. We always try to, that really is our home away from home. So we wanted to shoot it in front of a crowd over there, but because of the whole COVID thing, we couldn't do that. So we did shoot the video at the Bluebird on the stage in the Bluebird, but right now our shows are limited capacity, and everybody's sitting down, and it would have just been a real drag if we shot it in.
Right, you want people cheering and going crazy and stuff, right?
Yeah. Now to as kind of a way around that, we're also releasing a supplementary lyric video a week afterwards, just so people can see the lyrics for the song, because we really want Bloomington, Indiana to know, how much they mean to us and how much we care about them. So in the lyric video, there's a lot of pictures from our last show there before COVID hit on, in, I think it was March 14th.
Right.
And we were playing in front of a packed house that night. So, I mean, it was shocking actually to see how many people were coming to see us before all this happened in Bloomington. So hopefully at some point in time, maybe we'll get to shoot a live video at a crowd over there. That would be ideal. But first we got to see if people like the song. I mean, it's a really weird thing with it being a cover band. So we don't know if people are going to be excited about the song, or if they're going to be like, just shut up and get back to the Bon Jovi, will you? Like, come on, where's the Poison? We don't know. We're
Have you played it live?
We did play it live one time, but it was a limited capacity crowd, and it was on a Wednesday when we shot the video, and it was in front of a bunch of, that's their big college night there, mainly because they sell beers for 25 cents.
Right.
So
where's this place? I'm heading over there.
It's called the Bluebird in Bloomington, Indiana. And to put it into perspective, the show sold out before they even announced who the band was. So the people who were seeing the show didn't care what show they were going to. They just wanted 25-cent beer. So we tried the song out in front of the college crowd a couple times. And what was really cool about it is they knew songs like when we did Pour Some Sugar on Me, of course they know that song, because that's played in every sporting arena that they've ever been to. But certain songs, like even big songs in our set list, like Round and Round by Rat, which was just recently in a Geico commercial.
Right.
These kids were looking at us like, what is this song that you're playing right now? But the really cool thing about when we played this song is when the chorus hit, by the second time, maybe not even by the second time, maybe even by the near end of the first time, these kids were singing the words to the chorus.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was really cool. And it was almost kind of creepy. It was like, what are we getting ourselves into here? Like, could the
originals
turn into something? We'll see. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great feeling to first of all have people do that, to sing along with your song, and it's a great feeling just knowing you're going to a venue that people appreciate what you're doing, and Absolutely. It pumps you up, right? I mean, gets you excited to, hey, we're going to Bloomington. We're going to play the Bluebird. We're excited about it,
Yeah. Put it this way. Like, we go to the Bluebird every 3 to 4 weeks. It's a long drive. It's a really long drive. We load our own gear. We don't have any roadies or anything like that. We do all of our own stuff, and it really does take its toll on you, especially if you indulge a little bit at the Bluebird too, which as we do. So it really does beat you up, but we still come back from more and more punishment every single time because the crowds are just so electric there. I mean, I really think, and I've been saying this on our podcast for a while now, I really think that if you're a Hairbangers Ball fan, you really should see a Hairbangers Ball show at the Bluebird at some point in time. Just make a trip out there. After as soon as we can go back to full capacity crowds, at least. I don't want anyone from Chicago coming out there right now unless they want to watch people play their instruments. But if you want to watch a party and you want to see something really crazy, actually, I just put out a press release to a bunch of different publications recently, and there was a quote that I used in there that really sums it up best. Let me pull this up. It'll take me just a second. I got it right here. But somebody said this to the Writer Magazine and Film Series, which is a magazine out in Bloomington, Indiana. On their November 2019 issue of the Writer Magazine and Film Series, local Bloomington, Indiana resident told reporter Anthony Scott Piat, "People talk about how great the Bluebird is. I went for Hairbangers Ball and wasn't impressed. There was pushing, shoving, rudeness, bras being thrown, people practically having sex on the dance floor, and the bathroom reeked of weed." And then the end of that paragraph, it says, "Hairbangers Ball would like to thank Sarah for her certification of authenticity." So, sorry we gave you a rock concert, Sarah. I hope you'll recover one day.
Yeah.
Lord knows I haven't.
Yeah. Who knows? She may never.
I don't think so.
Hey, Ray, what are you doing?
I'm getting my bluegrass on. I'm playing my banjo, except there seems to be something wrong with the strings.
Well, Ray, GHS makes strings for all types of instruments: electric and acoustic guitar, bass guitar, mandolin, ukulele, and even banjo.
Then I'm getting new GHS strings and my banjo will sound better.
I don't think it's the strings, Ray. GHS are easy to play with rich, full balanced tone, available in many different gauges.
Great for all musical styles, so if you play
with the best, play GHS strings. Tell me a little bit about. I noticed I went back at some of your news stuff on your website, and you mentioned a band of the month. What was that idea about?
Band of the month is something that started right before I joined the band. I think they started it in 2015, maybe tail end of 2014. But band of the month is basically our dedication to one specific artist. We'll do a rock block of at least 4 songs, if not more, depending on who the artist is. We'll do a rock block dedicated to Motley Crue. And when we do Motley Crue Band of the Month, we'll do like 8 songs because we can never agree to, what 4 Motley Crue songs we should do. So we double it because Motley Crue just has so many great songs and people are always asking us to do different ones. Def Leppard will usually do a lot of songs of too. And then some of the deeper bands, like we did Dokken Band of the Month in February, right before the whole COVID thing. And actually, I think they were the March band. I think that was the one that got cut off early. And Dokken, we only did 4 songs just because, unfortunately, there's not really any Dokken songs that are being played in sporting arenas that,
right. Right. Or
much as I love Dokken, me some Dokken.
Yeah. Or even in mainstream music or wherever, mainstream radio or anything. So
yeah. It's just,
unless you're a Dokken fan, I've got every one of their albums. So I'm a big Dokken fan. So that I could listen, anything you played, I'd know it.
And it was a real bummer for it to get shut down too, because those songs are really hard, and we worked really hard to get those songs together. But yeah, so we only got to play them for 2 weeks, and then I think we did 4 Dokken shows, and then that was a wrap. But hopefully we'll get back to doing some Dokken as soon as we can start playing a little bit more often. But
so did you guys miss quite a few shows last year? You said you did some playing, but did you have a lot of cancellations?
Yeah, we missed out on almost the whole summer. I mean, almost every major big festival was canceled. It was a real drag. Especially since our calendar is in 2019, the band was just steamrolling and putting on a lot of great shows, and a lot of emails coming in every single day wanting to book the band. And we were looking at our calendar for 2020 that was booked a year out in advance, and we're like, wow, this is, I've only been in the band for 5 years, but Polly was like, this is, on paper, this will be the best year the band has had in 10 years. So we were really, really looking forward to 2020. We were like, all right, this is our year again. Like
Yeah, we talked to a lot of bands who said they were really ready to play, and they had a lot of dates on the books, but then nothing happened. I mean, obviously we know what happened, but
yeah. Well, the nice thing for us is a lot of the contracts are just carrying over to this year. So, we're still going to be, we don't have a date to spare in June right now. We don't have a date we're booking up really fast for the rest of the year. We're going into 2022. So yeah, I mean, we, as much as it really sucked, we're bouncing back quite nicely. You
do a lot of festivals, right?
A lot of festivals. Yep.
Festivals are fun.
Festivals are fun.
Tell me about
absolutely, except for the one thing I will say is being a band like Hairbangers Ball, festivals are just a little challenging sometimes because, there's no indoor plumbing or anywhere to get, dressed up. I'm a moron, but it takes me about an hour and a half to actually get ready for every single show. I mean, just with all the clothes that we wear, doing the hair up really big and warming up the voice. So festivals are a little challenging in that there's not a whole lot of places to do that, but the crowds that we play for at these festivals make it all worth it.
Well, you either have to make sure you get a trailer or something, or change in your trailer.
We've got a trailer. We change in our trailer sometimes, but
a trailer from the place, a nice trailer with the bathroom in it, and air conditioning and
a lot of places we do get that, but right. It's not something that happens all the time. It's a luxury when it does happen, and we're always wildly grateful, and those are usually the ones that we try to book instantly for the following year.
Yeah. So tell me about this Whiskey A Go-Go thing. You did a show at the Whiskey A Go-Go, or?
Yeah, we did it. We did a live stream on June 27th from the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood. Where
how'd you do that? How did you get there? I mean, did you fly or?
Yeah, we flew. We flew, when everybody was afraid of flying, and I know, it's obviously not great to be flying right now, but
right.
Things were definitely a little bit more uncertain then, but we took all the necessary precautions and stuff. Yeah, we flew out there, we rented some gear, and we were blown away by how much the production exceeded our expectations. I mean, the whole team that they have over there is just top notch and completely pro. And yeah, it was really exciting. Really, really exciting. It was really cool to be playing those songs on that stage where all of those bands came from. It was kind of creepy in a little way, because a lot of bands, when they play the Whiskey a Go-Go, it'll be a show where they're opening for someone like Kix, like a band from the 80s, or, Dokken or Faster Pussycat or something. But then, the local openers, they have to sell pre-sale tickets and stuff like that. And sometimes there will be 6 or 7 openers on the show before you get to the headliner. And, they have to sell tickets like I had to when I was in my early 20s, almost like a Girl Scout in a way. Like, hey, will you buy pre-sale tickets to my show so I can hand the venue 80% of the money afterwards and 20%? We didn't have to do that. It was really cool. And, we got the whole day with that legendary room. The family over there is just absolutely incredible. They took us, to the Rainbow right afterwards, and we got to see the Lair of the Hollywood Vampires that, Alice Cooper and all of his friends used to debaucher us in and stuff. And, yeah, it was a really, really great experience. And it's really surreal, sitting on that stage, looking at the walls and seeing, the faces of people you're playing the songs of afterwards, and knowing that you were the first band that got invited to play those songs there really meant a lot to me personally.
Now you guys sold tickets for that and did a live stream, right?
Yeah, it was a digital event through Veeps. And yeah, we sold tickets through there, and yeah, the event went quite nicely.
So no one can go back and watch that now, right?
I don't know that, I don't know if you can or not. I have the file of it. I don't know if we're going to put it on our website at some point in time. There's a couple songs are up on our YouTube page, so you can see what the production is like on there. Like we did, we tried to put some of the songs that like not a whole lot of bands do up on YouTube. So we put Wild Child by Wasp up on our page. We put It's Not Love by Dokken on our page, just, because every 80s hair metal band has a video of them doing Living on a Prayer. What are you going to do that's different?
Right.
Everybody and their mother has an 80s hair metal band at this point in time. So
yeah,
what are you going to do that's unique? And we just like playing, obviously we like playing all the hits, like Nothing But a Good Time and Kickstart My Heart and all of those great songs. But there were a lot of great songs from that time period that were huge hits back then, are just every bit as good now as they were back then. And it's a real shame for a lot of bands to be playing the same 30 songs.
Right.
That every other band plays. To me, right. When I see that, a lot of times I see that and I go, that band doesn't really listen to that music.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That band is going up on stage because this music is popular and people are paying attention to them, and they're collecting, a nice payday for playing some local music or whatever, not a bad thing, but that band doesn't listen to this music. If you don't dig deeper into the set list, that to me is the most obvious factor that you don't actually listen to that music.
Right. Play the deeper cuts, right?
Yeah. Not all of them. I think we do play to, the average person that sees Hairbangers Ball. We're very lucky to have a wide array of, we have a really devoted following, but the average person that sees Hairbangers Ball sees the band probably one time a year. So, and we're lucky that, because we do play, we'll never turn our backs on the hits, because that's what it made this band, is playing the hits. But we also like to change up our set list, to just keep it fun for us. And, so we've added all sorts of great stuff to the set list. We've got, Polly, do you want to say hello to everyone? Or actually, This is you're in the shot. This is actually this is Jennifer right now.
Hi Jennifer, how are you?
The brunette version is Jennifer, and then when she's blonde, it's Polly Pants. Well, and also I joined the call. I joined the call with your username, so it actually came up as Jennifer Remus on there, and I keep forgetting that I'm doing that to people. All right,
it's good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for doing this
on your end, but I can't wait to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool.
So let me ask you, with the live show that you did, the live streaming show at the Whiskey Go-Go, there was obviously no crowd there, right?
Yeah, no crowd.
And so was it tough to get the energy up in order to play? I mean, when you get the energy coming back from an audience, obviously it invigorates you. But was it tough? Was it tough doing it?
It wasn't tough to do that necessarily. What was tough was there are about 5 4K cameras in this room right now. So if anything goes wrong, it's getting captured. So that was the nerve-wracking part. But to be perfectly honest, it really wasn't hard to get in the mood for it because the band was just so good. You know, everybody is, playing their balls off in this band. You know, the girls included, they're playing their proverbial balls off. Sorry, the cat is up on that counter over here. He likes to make appearances on our podcasts. So he just wanted to say hello. But the band was playing really well, but there was also an added incentive to play, as well as we could and get in the mood, because the agent for TKO was sitting there watching the whole show. The sound guy for UFO, really? And Sebastian Bach was the house sound guy over there. So when you're in the room with the guy who mixes UFO all of the time, and you're in the room with the family that owns the Whiskey A Go-Go and the Rainbow Bar and Grill, you get your act together really quick. Yeah. So how do we find you on Facebook, and give us your website and your important social media stuff? Yeah. So the website is hairbangersball.com. The Facebook page, that's probably the place where we're most active, is facebook.com/hairbangersball, all lowercase, all one word. And then our social media, Instagram and Twitter, you can find our username is @hairbangersball. If anyone's got pictures from our shows or anything or videos, you can hashtag them, #hairbangersball. And then, everything is pretty much just on every social media platform is just Hairbangers Ball. Very good. All lowercase, all one word. Well, we wish you continued success with the band and another 20 years. What do you say? I would really very much like that. I mean, the nice thing about the type of band that this is, somebody said this at one of our shows, and I think it was at the Bluebird in Bloomington. They said, man, the thing I like about Hairbangers Ball is I get older and they stay the same age. So because of that, maybe there will be another 20 years. I certainly hope so. I'm planning on it.
In 20 years, they'll say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Hairbangers Ball, playing the oldies.
Yeah, no, seriously. Well, actually, I think in some places we're probably actually considered the oldies now. I mean,
yeah.
Because I remember in the 90s when I was going to elementary school, in the 90s, oldies was 50s music. Mm-hmm. So, we're in the 20s now. So
maybe it
same
is.
Same amount of time. But
well, I think there's a resurgence of music from 20 years past. Every 20 years that music has a resurgence. And so that means that the Hairbangers Ball and the 80s stuff is going to be really hot this next decade. So
I certainly hope so. I don't know what to expect, but out of all the things that we've got going on, all I can say is I'm really excited. And even if, nothing crazy happens and, things just kind of keep going as the status quo. We're still really lucky to be doing what we're doing. And I mean, what more can you ask for? I get to sing and scream the greatest songs of all time on stage and get paid to do it. And maybe to get a couple Coors out of the deal too.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining us, Brian. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.
No problem.
See you guys really soon.
How can I resist looking for nothing but a good time and it don't get baby? Whoa, yeah, it's summer high, hope it never stops. Whoa, yeah, baby.
That was Brian Durbin of 80s glam metal rock band Hairbangers Ball.
Nothing but a good time.
Ain't nothing but a good time.
That's right. That was a lot of fun, man. Them guys have a ball playing that stuff.
Yes, they do, and they do it quite well.
Yes, they do. I mean, that's probably my favorite genre.
The 80s?
I like the 80s music. I do like it. Heavy metal.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, I would say heavy metal now has actually changed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Back then it was just metal. Now it's heavy metal.
Now it's heavy. Yeah, you're right. Back then it was more metal. Yeah. And, but it rocked, man. That music rocked.
Yeah. I wonder how it got the name metal.
I don't know. A lot of symbolism.
It could be.
I don't know. Maybe too much glam.
Maybe there was quite a bit of glam back then. So
that's right. But
Hairbangers Ball does the glam well too.
Yeah, they do. They definitely played a part. And they're chomping at the bit to get back out there and start entertaining all you folks out there.
So give them a listen. Thanks once again to GHS Strings for sponsoring our podcast. And what else we got, Ray?
We've got the Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66 in beautiful downtown Joliet, Illinois. Check them out at roadtorock.org. And when you go to their website, sign up to be a charter member. Hopefully they'll be opening up sometime this summer with their first exhibits.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Rock on.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music that's played on this podcast.
The music is used to promote the band or musicians that are interviewed.
Rock and roll, Chicago. Rock and roll.